Someone chews near you, and something inside you just snaps. Not annoyed, not irritated. Full body rage, instant, overwhelming. You look around and nobody else even notices. That's not a bad mood. That's misophonia. And your brain is wired differently. Dr. Sukhbinder Kumar at Newcastle University found that misophonia brains show abnormal myelination. The wiring between your emotional and auditory cortex is literally different. That's not sensitivity, that's neuroscience. Sign 1. You hear one sound and you can't unhear it. Someone starts eating across the room. You weren't even thinking about it. Now it's the only thing that exists. Every chew lands like a notification you can't dismiss. Your body goes on high alert, heart rate rising, jaw tightening. The rest of the world disappears. You try to focus on something else. You open your phone, you shift in your seat. The sound is still there. Louder somehow. The harder you try to ignore it, the worse it gets. Other people are laughing across the table. You haven't heard a word they've said. Your whole brain is locked onto one sound. Sign 2. You don't just get annoyed, you get angry. Not, ugh, that's a little much. Full-on rage, instant and physical. You're gripping your phone harder, your teeth are clenched. You want to get up and leave, but you can't always do that. Dr. Sukhbinder Kumar's research showed misophonia triggers the fight-or-flight response, not just discomfort. Your nervous system genuinely believes there's a threat. You're not choosing this reaction. Your brain is making that call before you even realize it. That anger isn't overreacting, it's your wiring. Sign 3. Certain people's sounds hit harder than others. A stranger chewing at a coffee shop? Mildly annoying. Your mom chewing at Thanksgiving dinner? Unbearable. You love them. And yet, the sound makes you want to disappear. People with misophonia often report the effect is strongest with people closest to them. Proximity and attachment make the triggers sharper, not softer. You can't explain it without sounding awful, so most of the time you just don't. Which makes family dinners a very specific kind of chaos. You've left the table early more times than you can count. Not because you don't love them, because staying was costing you too much. Sign 4. You've built your life around avoiding trigger sounds. You sit at the end of the table at restaurants. You wear headphones before the snack bag even opens. You pick the seat farthest from the kitchen in every meeting room. Spotify is not just entertainment, it's a survival tool. These aren't quirks, they're adaptations. Your brain built an exit strategy for every situation that might go wrong. You plan for sound the way other people plan for traffic. Always a backup, always an exit route. And you didn't even realize you were doing it until right now. You've turned down invitations because of this. Lunches, road trips, study groups. The math just didn't work in your favor. You've said, I'm not hungry, just to avoid the situation. Sign 5. Watching someone eat on screen triggers you just as bad. You're mid-episode and someone on screen starts eating. Remote goes straight to skip. It's a fictional character, you know this. Doesn't matter. Dr. Ethan Cross at the University of Michigan found that the brain processes observed experiences through the same emotional pathways as lived ones. So your nervous system doesn't know the screen isn't real. The reaction fires anyway, every time. ASMR channels are your personal nightmare. Sign 6. It's not just sounds. What you see sets you off too. Someone chewing with their mouth open across the room? You felt that in your chest. Seeing a spoon scrape a bowl or a pen click repeatedly? Your eyes lock on it. You can't look away. For many people with misophonia, the visual and auditory triggers are linked. Your brain builds an association, see it, and the anticipation alone starts the spiral. Sometimes the sight of someone unwrapping food is enough, before a single sound even happens. Sign 7. Open offices and group lunches are your personal version of hell. Everyone else is bonding over Chipotle. You're one chip crunch away from a meltdown. You smile, you nod, you count the minutes. The break room microwave popcorn situation? A genuine threat to your mental stability. You've timed your lunch break around when the break room is empty. You've eaten lunch alone at your desk more times than you can count. Not because you're antisocial, because sometimes surviving the afternoon means protecting your nervous system first. Deadass. Sign 8. Silence is actually your worst environment. A quiet library feels like a trap. One pen tap away from losing it. One person sniffling, one keyboard clicking. In silence, There's nowhere for the sound to hide, and nowhere for you to hide either. Misophonia sufferers often find ambient noise easier to manage than silence. White noise, lo-fi, background music, these aren't distractions, they're armor. The irony is that you don't want quiet. You want the right kind of noise, and that's why your AirPods are never fully charged, because you never take them out long enough. They're not accessories, they're a coping mechanism. Sign 9. You've fantasized about saying something, but you never do. You've run the script in your head 100 times. Could you please stop chewing like that? You never say it, because you already know how it sounds, unhinged, rude, too much. So you sit there, you endure, you white-knuckle your way through the meal, and then you replay it for the next hour. The sound is gone, the irritation isn't. Holding it in is its own kind of exhausting. You've driven home from dinners completely drained. Not from the conversation, from the performance of pretending you were fine. Sign 10, you've given someone the ick, just from eating. You were interested, you were into it. Then they ordered nachos on the first date. That was the end of that. You didn't choose this, you didn't want this. But the sound hijacked everything before your brain could intervene. Dr. Brene Brown at the University of Houston found that shame hits hardest when our reactions feel outside our control. You liked them. Your nervous system had other plans. The ick is real, and it's not shallow. It's neurological. Sign 11. You've wondered if something is wrong with you because nobody around you seems to feel this. They're eating chips and laughing. You're calculating how fast you can leave without making it weird. You've Googled it, you've asked people, you've tried to explain it, and most people just say, just tune it out. As if that's something you haven't tried every single day. There's nothing wrong with you. Your brain is processing sound differently. That's not a character flaw, that's neurology. You've spent years thinking you were just difficult, too sensitive, too reactive, too much. None of that was ever true. You were just living without the right language for what you experience. Sign 12. Once you learned it had a name, everything shifted. You didn't have a personality flaw. You had a condition nobody told you about. Not drama, not weakness, not being difficult. Dr. Sukhbinder Kumar's research at Newcastle has moved it from dismissed quirk to recognized brain condition. Millions of people have this. You were never broken. You were just undiagnosed. Finding the name didn't fix the trigger sounds, but it fixed something deeper. If this video felt like someone finally got it, that's because someone finally did. You're not too sensitive, you're not dramatic. You have misophonia, and your brain is built differently. Drop a comment, what's your #1 trigger sound? I read every single one. New psychology videos every Thursday and Sunday. Subscribe or you'll miss the one that changes how you see yourself. See you Sunday.